Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So yeah, I promised this video 4 months ago. I said 4 months ago, 1 month ago. That's about like 4 weeks. But due to unforeseen circumstances, it had to come at a later time. But anyways, nevertheless, the video is here. So let's dive into it. Basically, the whole point of this script here is to show how a banking app system works. Not like the full banking app system, but this is just like a script. This is not like how conventional banks work. There are some similarities in the code, but this is just plain CLI interaction stuff. There's no like actual interface between users and this thing, and this even uses like a TXT file for database, which is not the conventional way to go. But yeah, enough yapping. Let's get into the explanation of the code. So first things first, we import our datetime and our date. This is basically to help us with let me first put my phone on DND. This is basically to help us with our age, to check age if you are older or below 18. We import random. This is used for our account number. Import Ashley. This I just imported for our pin. Would do that part together when I get to the pin part, because I don't want to store pin in plain text, cryptography and cybersecurity, all that stuff. So yeah, our first function, file to dict. Basically we I use this function basically just to convert from our user input to our dictionary that's going to be stored in the txt file, and vice versa. So converting from to and to from, like that. So file to dict, it takes the file part, which is our db.txt here. I mean, this, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm not really good with screen recording, but I hope you guys can. Our db.txt, this basically that I'm hovering over with my mouse. That's the file part. Then we have a separator. We know key value pair in this data. It has to be key and separated with a column, then value. So then we also have data dict. This is going to be used specifically in this file to dict. So next, try except try basically to perform a certain number of operations. If it doesn't work, then we return an except. So first thing, we open our file. In the read mode, we have write mode, we have append, various type of mode. This is just basically access control, like okay, what are you going to be performing on that particular file at that time? Are you reading the file? Are you writing to the file? Are you overriding? Are you just appending, like adding to what is already existing in the file? Then we open it as file. Basically this tells Python that okay, instead of using this old db.txt or the full file part, use like file, recognize the file as file. So for line in file, so for our line in our db.txt, line dot strip, basically we are separating each line, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. So if line basically checks that okay, if there is even a line 1 to start with, then perform this whole operation here, blah blah blah. But if there's no line, break and come down to this except and check again. But if there is line, key value line dot split separator 1 space of 1 separator, inputting this, so basically separating our key and our value with this column here, and then data dict, adding them to this data dict, then key dot strip, that is the key, then the value dot strip, assigning the value dot strip to the key dot strip. So basically that is what this does. Then except the file is not found, like except this db.txt is not found. In some cases, if you don't specify the correct parts, it will return this okay, file not found. Then another except value error, which is basically okay, if it has gone through, remember like I was saying, line dot strip separator, key value separator. So if the code is going through it and there's an invalid format where there is no separator, then it will tell us which line the error is from. So error, invalid formatting line. If it's line 256, it tells us okay, line 256, and it ensures that, and it tells us that okay, ensure that each line is separated by the separator. That means that our inputs, like somewhere in our code, we've made a mistake somewhere. Then we return data dict to this data dict. So yeah, basically that is what our file to dict does. I hope you guys understand that. Then our next function, create account function. So obviously, this is where we're performing our creation of accounts. Firstly, we print welcome. We're happy to have you to join us. Endearing the users, just formal courtesy and things like that. Then we collect their first name, input, first name, last name. We collect their input, last name, then date of birth string. This basically, okay, we're accepting the date of birth in string. Obviously, we can't store it in string. Reason, well, we can store it in string, but we don't want to store it in string because we are going to be checking. If you want to check an integer or a float and you are checking it against a string, there's going to be issues. So that is where this line comes in. Basically, it converts the input 2004, whatever you input, your year, month, and date, blah blah blah, converts it to this format using this strip time, and then this dates ensures that okay, it is stored in the proper format. Then, like I was saying when I started the video, I said date, time, and date. We are going to be using it to check dates, your age basically. So today, that is the current day that we are in. So today is the 15th of June 2025. So this is what is going to be assigned to this variable today. Then age, today dot year minus date of birth dot year. So basically it takes today's year, like since we're in 2025, if you input 2020, so it takes the year minus date of birth dot year. Naturally, I might have left it at this, that okay, just like subtract the year and that should be enough. But in some cases, somebody might be clocking 18 that year, but because maybe they are not yet, that, let's say for example we're in June now and somebody's birthday is in December or something, but they are clocking 18 that year. Obviously, if they input the year, the code is just going to like this code is just going to accept them and say, oh, since you are probably in this year, that means you're probably 18. That might not be true. It might be 17 and it might be turning 18 in December. So we also check the month and the day, and we subtract it from the month and the day that is in your date of birth from today's month and day. So taking all of this into context, it now tells us okay, if your age is less than 18 based on the information that you have given us, then you print okay, you are not allowed to open an account. But if you are greater than 18, then it proceeds. So if you are not allowed to open an account, it exits the code, and then like that is it terminates the whole process. But if you are greater than 18, then it allows you to proceed to pin creation. So you input your desired pin. So basically most bank pins, they limit it to 4 pins because that's the standard. I don't know if it is nibs that gave them that standard, but whatever, I'm not the one to judge. You input your desired pin. I personally would prefer a 11 p, like length of 11, but 4 is fine too. So this first check, if not any character dot is digit for character in pin. So basically this whole jargon here that you're reading, it just checks that okay, if there's an alphabet in your pin, because like I said, convention, most pins are numbers, 1 2 3 4 0 0 0 0, 5 6 7 8. That's common pins. Please don't use those, be cyber aware. It checks if for example now you now say 2A04, it tells you that that is an invalid input, then it exits the code and you have to start the whole process over again. I believe that like that's the best thing to do. Although I might have just left it at that and just say that okay, maybe you should input your pin, like set a while, blah blah blah, but I'm not doing that. You can't start from the beginning. You should know what the correct thing is, or maybe I should just specify it. Anyways, enough blabbing. If there's a character in number, that is if you have anything that is not numbers, then return invalid input and exit the code. If you pass that, then if the length of your pin is greater than 4, return pin cannot be greater than 4, exit. If it is lesser than 4, print that it cannot be lesser than 4. So it has to be exactly 4. So now let us so I was thinking of maybe creating a function and then just like using the hash pin, or just doing it directly. You know what, let me just create a function. So I'll go above this dev create account, and I'm just going to call it dev hash pin, because I don't want to save the pin in plain text. So dev hash pin, will be passing in pin. Yeah, passing in pin, and then we're just going to return hashlib, our function. Then we'll be using SHA-256, because like I feel like that's the simplest. I don't want to do anything too complicated. Then pin.encode, that is our inputs dot encode into this. Then we do our x digest. Ta-da! So basically this takes our input and it converts it into hash256 format. So let us apply this our hash pin. uh let us apply it here. So after it has passed all the checks and blah blah blah, so basically we're just going to do hash pin. Let me just call it that. Hash pin equals to hash pin. I don't know what was that. Okay, hash pin, and we pass in our pin, that is our input. And then instead of saving it in plain format, let me just come down here and change pin to hashed pin. Then we do Ctrl S, that saves it. This is not my VS Code. If it was my VS Code, it would auto save, but because it's my Sublime text, I have to do Ctrl S. Then that is our pin. Then we go down to our next segment of the code. We set our check into false, equals to false. So while check equals to false, basically this whole thing here is just like, okay, check if the account number that Python is generating for you is random, because we don't want to have two users, having the same account number. So we do our number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0, then account number list equals 5. So basically there is what this does here is just setting that, okay, the first number in the account number should be 5. In Wema Bank, I think it is commonly 04 or 02. So I'm just doing 5. I don't know if there's any bank that uses 5 as their first number. My own Access Bank starts with 08. My Wema Bank starts with 04. If you people want me to call my account number so you people can send me money, please let me know in the comments. Just kidding. Anyways, account number list dot extend. Basically, this account number list that we specified, then we are extending string the random choice. Remember, random string the random choice number. So within this, for dash in range 9, basically what this, let me just explain what that jargon is on. It takes 5, then it selects a random choice of 9 numbers. For you can use for I in range 9, for whatever you want to use, it doesn't really matter. For underscore in range 9, basically selects in number within the range of 9, then it appends it, extend, yeah, so this 5. So account number, our account number is now going to be, okay, string dot join account number list. I hope that that makes sense to you guys, because this is integer. We want our account number to be stored in string. Please, I hope it makes sense to you. So data dict is going to be equals to file to dict. Remember this, our file to dict function, db.txt, taking our file path. Remember that db.txt is our file path. Then user is going to be equals to data dict.get account number. So this here we're checking. So user, because we are using our account number as like our identifier, not our name, because we don't have a username and password type of this thing. What we have is an account number and pin. So we're going to be using our account number as our UID, our user identification, basically. So user is going to be data dict.get. So this file to the dict db.txt, assigning to this data dict, we're basically trying to access our database, and then we're now saying, okay, get, based on this account number that has just been created, get the user. So the reason why we're trying to get the user is, okay, to see if a user already exists. If user, then check remains false and it continues performing this while loop. Else, if check becomes true, obviously our while will stop running, and tada, we are done with our whole account creation process. So next thing to do is to store. So we assign first name to first name, last name to last name, date of birth string, that is this, instead of the conventional date of birth. Basically the reason why we did this, like I said, 18. So date of birth string that we entered, assign it to the date of birth. Pin is going to be hash pin. Then our balance, obviously you are just creating an account, the bank is not going to dash you money now, so your balance is going to be 0. Then we assign our account number. Like I was saying, our UID is our account number. Remember this data here, exactly. So we assign account number, dict, that's dictionary format, dict, this, assign it to the account number. Then we do account, account create, open db.txt, a for append. If we do w, which is right, it is going to basically overwrite everything that is in our database. Like if you already have like 50 user accounts and you use w, it is going to clear everything and just put that new one into. So we are doing a to append it. So account.create, open our db.txt, append, then account.create, write string data. We're writing it in string format. Remember what I was talking about, file to dict, file to dict, dict to file, blah blah blah. So after we've done that, then we have to close it because it is a file. We open the file and we close the file. Then we do print, we welcome you as gentlemen and gentlewomen that we are to our bank. Your account number is blah blah blah. We'll tell you what your account number is. This is commented out. Next video will show the login, how the login works. Then our interface is basically just what you see. So it first of all prints welcome to Wema Bank, no affiliation. Then it prints to create account number, you enter 1, so login, enter 2. So if you click on option 1, create account, it comes up where, it comes up here, and then it runs this whole thing. And this whole thing that it is running has functions from here and functions from here and functions and functions, and there's going to be more functions as time goes on. Interface once you run the code. So yeah, 20 minutes long. Feels good to be back. Hopefully you guys learn one or two things from me rambling and just talking about it. And once again, like I said, if you guys want me to, like, I was telling you guys that the first few numbers of my account number 0804. If you guys want me to complete it, please let me know. So just I'll just append it to the video, like we appended our new inputs to our db.txt. But jokes apart, not joking really. Yeah, it feels good to be back. See you guys in the next video. Ciao.